hoping to speak in Arabic because we have to understand that the Arabic language is a spoken language by trillions of creation of Allah. Human, birds, animals, trees, ocean, seas, water, sand, particles. وما من شيء إلا يسبح بحمده, and the tasbih in Arabic. Value a language which other people do not value it, or they know its value. That's why they shift you to ask you to speak other languages which are so inferior to the Arabic language. It's number one. Imam or Khatib or scholar in Islam cannot be unless he or she speak and comprehends Arabic. Speak and comprehends Arabic and understand the metaphor and the dynamic of the Arabic language. Can't go to the history, can't go to the fiqh, the hadith, the sunnah, the seerah, the sharia without Arabic language. It's not a superiority to any race, but it's a fact. That's why Allah revealed His last message in Arabic. Otherwise, it would have been in any other languages. To start with, as Brother Yusuf told me to speak, I don't know how long I have to speak for. I don't know. Anyway, till the battery dead.
60%.
Alhamdulillah. I think if we believe that we can do something, we will do it. If we don't, we won't. The first step of being a leader is to believe that you can become a leader. That's the first thing. If you don't, you won't. No matter how much we push you, no matter how much we train you, no matter how much we give Muhammad to give you some capacity building program, all this is a waste of time. If you don't have the desire and the will to become such an individual. This is the first step for anyone, young and old. If you believe that you can have it, you will do it. It's number one. Number two, there is no leadership without education. No leadership, no whatsoever. Forget it. To be the son of so and so, or the daughter of so and so, or whatever it is. Without education, you can't. And education is not one size fits all. Education is very diverse and it's very, what do you call it, deep. The more you go deep, the more you learn more. The more you read Quran, just passing by it, or trying to understand, or trying to go deep in tadabbur and tafakkur, the more you, Quran will open its treasure for you. The mutadabbir and the mufakkir في علوم القرآن سيكتشف كنوز القرآن. The one who makes tadabbur and tafakkur in Quran, he will discover actually the treasures of Quran. That's why the treasures of Quran have not been discovered at the time of Prophet. It has been discovered by the time, by the centuries, by the advancement of technology. The technology will be matching what has been written in the Quran 1400 years ago. So education is a willingness to learn, willingness to understand, willingness to comprehend, willingness to discover, willingness to direct, willingness to have an added value in what you learn. You don't go for a degree only. Degree is nothing. Degree is a step forward, but it's not forward. It's better than what you have now. Don't stop learning. Don't stop listening. Don't stop understanding. Don't stop asking. If you don't ask, you'll never learn. If you don't ask, you will never learn. If you become shy person and don't ask, you will never learn. Yes, number one is education. This will lead us to المعرفة. معرفة is to seek knowledge. Education could be a syllabus, manhaj. لكن knowledge is wider. It's like the climate. Knowledge is like the climate, the atmosphere. That your educational material will be a part of such an atmosphere and climate. You keep swimming in an ocean, not in a river. This is ma'rifah. Ma'rifah is very important. You are Imam? Tell me yes. Okay. If you don't understand Arabic, number one, if we don't understand the mechanics of the social life of the community, we can't be Imam. Forget about to become Hafiz and reciting Quran in and out. Where is philosophy? Where is culture? Where is history? Where is social sciences? Where is all this? Where is arts? With all this is a part of the community. You have to have two parallel systems. One is the social education and community education. The other one is the religious education. Don't stick to one of them only. Because if you are an imam, you give fatwa. To give fatwa, you have to understand the culture of the people that actually you are giving the fatwa to them, to save them or to protect them or support them. This is how our greatest ulama in the good old days كانوا علماء موسوعيون ولا موسوعيين بالواو ولا بالياء؟ كانوا علماء موسوعيون. أنا عارف بدأت أفهم اللغة العربية. They were encyclopedic scholars. Encyclopedic. Find them that they understand philosophy, culture, history, hafiz, alim, and the fiqh, and so on, so on, so on, so even arts and others. Because they are interacting with every individual in the society. So they have to understand the dimension of the growth of the society, is vertical or horizontal or diagonal or cross-cutting. Society is on the growth 24/7 by the second, by the minutes, changing by the time. By the time you learn something, society is changing. That's why you have to have these three pillars. The Arabic language as a foundation, then the social subjects, and the humanitarian subjects, not the relief, and the religious subject. And if you look at all the ulama in the good old days, either they are scientists or scholars, they understand all this complexity. But nowadays, we just go by manhaj, very rigid. We have to change the manhaj. A part of the manhaj is the social sciences. This is number 2. يبقى تعلم, education, معرفة, and preparation of the syllabus, which I mentioned about the imam, since most of you are imam. Going out of this, I want to become a young leader. How? I have to engage. I have to engage and I have to be supported. Like my teacher pushed me to go and help. I failed once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times. He gave me a space and keep supporting me till I win, till I pass. You watch football? You watch, but don't talk about it. don't tell me that nobody watching football in this room. Anyway, give a chance to the individual. Not when I do a mistake, I get the stick. Don't do everything by yourself as a teacher. Let the young people to do something. Don't be micromanaging your young people. If you micromanage, they will never be independent. They will be always, all the time, depending on you. As I give them the space and the freedom to fail once and twice and many times and take them by the hand. This is the third point. A leader in the mosque or a community have to create a leader, male or female. Young people's role is extremely essential. Extremely essential. An organization which does not have in its composition, in the managerial composition, young leaders and women, is lacking the stability. Because women represent a different dynamics of dealing with the community. Emotion, love, care, softness. Young people represent dynamics, power, speed, and they want to change everything yesterday, not tomorrow, not next week. I need this and I need that. And I need people like you to balance between the three components at any organization. A lot of female ulama were there long time ago. Female muhaddithat long time ago. Female what do you call اللي هم حافظوا القرآن اسمهم ايه؟ اللي هم الشيخات اللي بيحفظوا القرآن اسمهم ايه بالعربي؟ محفظات. يعني زمان actually يعطوا إجازة في الايه؟ في القراءات. والفيميل and especially from where you came from, a lot of them came from Egypt, isn't it? Or this محفظات. So anyway, there's a role. If you want to become a young leader, you don't restrict the group you serve on the people you know only. This is number 4. Inclusivity. You have to look at the greater community. You don't restrict yourself to your residential area, your street, your village, your township. If you want to be an ummah leader, like the Prophet ﷺ, you have to care for the whole universe. If you want to be a leader of a sect or a group, be whatever you want to be. It depends what do you want to be. What do you want to be? But first of all, start with learning and learning and learning, knowledge, syllabus, that we'll talk about it, and have the experience and be encouraged to fail and don't let anybody to let you down. Then plus inclusivity will actually serve everybody in the community, and well as in your composition of the society, your organization, you have to have male, female, and young people. Okay? So when we look at this kind of diversity, we are the people who can make ourselves leaders. We are the individuals themselves. Even sometimes when the teachers are very harsh with us. You have to pass. We have to pass. This actually, that's why I believe in myself. When we started the Islamic Relief, more than 40 years ago now, none of us take it as an earring. None of us knew what we were doing. Nobody was qualified from any university to teach us. I was a medical doctor. And I had nothing to do with humanitarian work, social work, developmental work. Okay, I have nothing to do with all this, but I learned by mistakes. I learned by the time. And in 40 years' time, I, alhamdulillah, have some experience. Same like Dr. Muhammad, but he's more qualified because he was in the management. I never was a good manager. I always fail before I succeed. In my marriage, I was refused. MashaAllah. 4 times I was refused. In spite of the fact I was very handsome. And it was a lot of hair. In my driving license, I failed 5 times. In my license exam for the medical profession, I failed 5 times. I'm a failure. And even my doctor of medicine, I failed miserably once, but not once, alhamdulillah. And I was told, you have to pass. Let me encourage you. You know the gratitude in my thesis, which was about the children with split in the spine.
Spina bifida.
With a sac at the bottom and the water in the brain. Or sometimes with no spine, no nerves. The back is open. And there's no brain. Okay? I mentioned my gratitude in the first page. To whom? To Allah. This was in 1990. I said to Allah who said the creation of man. The creation of man from the water till he became a man or a woman. And this is what I mentioned in 3 pages. You don't write a gratitude in 3 pages. You write it in 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. They did not fail me because of the Quran. They failed me because I did something wrong in my thesis. Okay. So here, you have to, I mean, even we changed the name of the one who described spina bifida 600 years before Europe. His name was Abu Qasim al-Zahrawi, and they used to call his name Abu Qasas, so we did not know him. He was from al-Zahra. Anyway, this kind of principles, you have to have it. Keep trying and don't stop trying. As young leaders, you have a role to play, and the elder people have to give you the space to grow. This is what we need. Even if we look at our Quran, for the first verse in the Quran, what name? What? Iqra is not just read. Allah knows that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam could not read and write. Jibreel knows that. So why is telling him Iqra? Come here. You. Yeah. Why Allah is telling Muhammad Iqra and he knew that he cannot read and write? Mr. Handsome, huh?
We'll do it, you'll try.
Doesn't Iqra mean to recite?
Recite, okay. You come here, young man. One, I will go to roast you on the stage. Come here. Allah knows that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam does not read and write, but he told them Iqra. What does it mean? Anybody else? Huh? Anybody else? Come on. Come here.
To comprehend.
Comprehend what?
Comprehend what is in the Quran.
Seek knowledge. Iqra means seek knowledge, not only just read and write. Because the following verse, Iqra was the name of your Lord. And he was diverting the attention of Prophet ﷺ to the creation of the Creator. الذي خلق, صح? خلق الإنسان من علق. Oh my God. You know what علق means? علق is small leech. The fetus inside the womb of the woman, from the water of man and the water of the woman becomes a clot, nutfa. Then alaqa, then mudgha. How on earth Allah is telling somebody who cannot read and write, khalaqa min alaq? It is mentioned in the Quran 1,000 years before the microscope was invented. He is telling Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is the knowledge, not what something you read or you listen to or you see or somebody educating you, but it is the secrets of life inside the womb of the woman when the man was created inside the womb of the woman. Al-alaq. Muhammad does not know that the womb as alaq, and nobody on earth knows these stages at that time. But Allah put it as a source of knowledge. Knowledge. Don't stop ever seeking knowledge. Imam ibn Hanbal, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he used to say, من المحبرة إلى المقبرة. From the ink bottle to the graveyard. I'm not going to stop writing and documenting till I die. As Imam Ahmad Muhammad, one of the greatest four علماء ناس خلق الإنسان ما أخذ. Then he repeat again اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي إيه؟ الذي. What do we do with the قلم? Write. What do you mean by write? يعني research, analyze, document, classify, not just read and write without research. We nowadays ignore what we call research studies, research institution, research analysis. We don't spend in it. If we say that we need to do something, we don't put research on it as a part of the package of a project that we need to implement for a community. هذا علامة بالقلم. That means القلم for writing, not for reading. For writing. Writing means research. All these things are so essential for us to become leaders. Other subjects we need to learn when we are leaders, as I mentioned, history can't go without it. Philosophy, culture of people, values, other people, religion. This kind of social sciences, we have to understand and learn them. It's not just Islam. Islam was not an isolated. It was not isolated from other community. It came to serve every community. And the most beautiful statement mentioned by Rabbi ibn Amir when he went to Persia at that time, and he was riding an anemic horse, a very weak horse, with a very old clothes and with a very old sword. And the king of Persia said, "Oh, go give them something because they are very poor people, the Arabs." He said, "What do you want?" You know what Rabbi ibn Amr said? Because he believed in himself that he was a leader. جئنا نخرج العباد من عبادة العباد إلى عبادة رب العالمين. We came to save or to take mankind from the slavery of worshipping the man-made God to the slavery of the Lord of the universe. إلى عبادة رب العباد. ومن ضيق الدنيا إلى سعة الدنيا والآخرة. From the narrowness of this life to the ease of this life and the life to come. And from جور السلطان يعني ومن جور السلطان إلى عدل الرحمن. And from the atrocity and the oppression and the zulm of the tyranny of the sultan or the king to the mercy and justice of Allah. This Rabbi ibn Amr was not qualified from Johannesburg University or Sorbonne or London or Cambridge or Harvard. Was qualified from the school of Muhammad, who taught him how can he be confident to speak publicly in front of anybody and nobody, because he had the urge and the drive and the confidence that he can lead. And you should have that. You should have that. As I said before, I need to stop now because Muhammad needs to take over. As I say now, Wallahi الذي لا إله إلا هو, we have no idea 40 years ago what we were going to do. The only thing it was hell, hell, hell. We used to go from door to door, from mosque to mosque, from street to street, from shop to shop to distribute leaflets. No office, no budget, no income, nothing, nothing, nothing. And we managed, but it took 40 years to let me and Muhammad and Yusuf stand in front of you and you listening to us.
You had a companion, a mouse.
Huh?
You had a companion, a mouse. Tell them about the mouse.
When we were actually elevated in 1986, we started 84. We had a community center in Birmingham, and they gave us a small room. And this small room it was filled with rats. And we had one of our brothers, I brought him from London to sleep, eat, work in the room. And he started to find something coming on his nose of water. We thought that something is raining or some droplets. They discovered that Mr. Mouse was playing with game with him. And they used to have a stick the whole night, but not for me. In the morning, they run away. In the evening, they were entertaining Fadi Skandarani. And they used to have the stick and hit the mouse, but he never killed the mouse, because the mouse is very clever. Not Tom and Jerry. They are Tom and then Jerry. So this is how we started. How we started. It took us 40 years to count the millions and the hundreds of millions, and the impact and the recognition and the respect and the blessing of the millions and millions and millions of people who make dua for this organization. I'll conclude by saying a few things for people that you don't know. You know, the first, I was going to Sudan in 1983 at the time of the Ethiopia famine in Eritrea and Tigray. I didn't have money to buy the ticket. I went to the Sheikh in London, Sheikh Hamid. He opened the drawer and they gave me a bundle of money, 300 pounds. Nobody knew and know who was the donor. This is the first donor and the first founder of Islamic Relief, 1983. If he was a man or a woman, nowadays, if he or she is dead, Allah will tell her and him and show her and him, listen, this is what you done 41 years ago. So then she will tell him, or he will tell him, I don't know those people. He said, do you remember? To her the video. Do you remember the 300 pounds that you give to the Sheikh? This man, which you have not met him, which is myself, took it and make a ticket, and he went, and from there we started. So, الصدقة المخفية لا تعرف مداها. The hidden صدقة, nobody can measure its dimension, its weight, its value. Then another brother, Sudanese, who changed our mind and tell us they're Muslims and non-Muslims. We came back with an idea to help. Then I went to have a transit in Egypt. And one of my relatives, young boy, how old are you? Oh, he was younger than you. You should have done it 2 years ago. He was 9 years old. He gave me 20 pence. This was his chocolate money at that time. Too much, because the chocolate was 10 pence at that time. Then my colleague, who started with me from the Birmingham University, was originally Palestinian Iraqi. He was doing chemistry, I was doing medicine. Then the one who gave us our name, you know who was he? It was not Hani al-Banna, it was not Muhammad al-Majd, it was not Maulana, it was Yusuf Islam, Cat Stephen. They came in 1985, gave us the name, Islamic Relief. Come here. You know this logo? Very handsome man, huh? Not you. The logo. The logo is designed by a Turkish designer that we never saw him. And he refused to charge us. So from a 300 pound donor that nobody knows him, to 20 pence young boy from Egypt, to a Sudanese brother who changed our mindset, to a Palestinian colleague, okay, Iraqi Palestinian, originally Palestinian but Iraqi nationality, to a Greek man, which is Yusuf Islam, to a Turkish designer, are those the 5 or 6 nationalities which started Islamic Relief in 1984 and 85. This is to end with it. That's why if you want to become an Ummah leader, you have to cater and care for the Ummah. If you want to work on an avenue or a street or a clan or a political party, be whatever you want. It's up to you. جزاكم الله خير والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. I want 20 pence. يلا محمد تعال.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. أخوكم في الله محمد أبو المجد. I am the chairman of the board of Islamic Relief South Africa and one of Dr. Hani's students. It is very difficult to
My
speak.
boss.
Very difficult to speak after Dr. Hani. He's, mashallah, very talented and moving. But since I'll take two short talk, inshallah, from what Yusuf said, that we are the Muslims all over the world. We are like one body. If part of the body is suffering, all the other parts of the body suffers, and all of us are aware of what's going on in Palestine and Gaza. I will just shed a quick light into what's going on in the Western world. I live in Canada, and I think this atrocities that's happening in Gaza has moved the youth in the Western world, in America first, but now in Canada and in a good part of Europe too. And I'm talking about the non-Muslims, not only the Muslims who lives there, but also the young non-Muslims in the leading universities in America, in Canada, and in good part of Europe. I think what really moved them, and I hope that's gonna change this Western society to the better, inshallah, is this double standard. This is very, clear double standard in about the Western society. The Western civilization talks about human rights, talks about democracy, talks about some of these values, but actually, especially the young people, realize that it is not there. It is that there is very clear double standard, and why the youth are usually the first to change and to react, because they don't have, and I see a lot of youth here, and that I encourage you to be proactive, because the youth have, as Dr. Hani said, energy, have passion, but also they don't have much to lose. The old people like me, they may have some wealth, they may have families, they may have a house, they may have a car, and they have a job that they think twice before they react to something they don't like. But the youth, they are starting and they have passion, and we take from the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad that most of the people who embraced Islam, especially at the beginning, were youth and poor, and because it is as I said, they have the passion, they want to change to the better, to change themselves and then change the society around them. So I think this is a very I would say glad tidings I'm conveying to you from North America, that these societies is going to change. It's going to take time. They may not become perfect, but at least the truth is becoming more and more clear, and also the people who are accepting Islam are increasing because of what's going. One indicator we have in Canada, one of the ulama who really has fluent, obviously, in Arabic and in English. He translated the Quran. It's called Clear Quran, and we are distributing it to the non-Muslims and those who don't speak Arabic. His translation is very, as it said, clear or simple. It's not like, it's one of the simple ways for the layman, the average person who understands English can read it without difficulty. Because all the translations of the Quran are using kind of old English. And anyway, so one of the indications is that the organization that is distributing this used to distribute maximum 300 copies of Quran per month. After what's happening in Gaza, it's now even more than 3,000, tenfold the amount, because non-Muslims are interested to understand why those people in Gaza are really, strong, are really, have patience, are really, are not cracking down. There is something behind that, and they want to know. So there is some, inshallah, good coming out of all these atrocities. I will end by, again from what Dr. Hani was saying, and it's in my mind since I came in this visit to South Africa. I'm visiting South Africa regularly because I am Yusuf boss, so that I can see what's going on with the organization. Alhamdulillah, we are doing a very good job, Yusuf and his team. Alhamdulillah, here in South Africa and some of the surrounding countries. But I am thinking, especially this visit, because I visited in Johannesburg with a group of Canadian youth volunteers, the Nelson Mandela House and the High Court, the Constitution Court, and prison. It's about the history in South Africa until the liberation, and I'm thinking that we need the Muslim NGOs in South Africa, and I know some of them are even much older than Islamic Relief, but we need to evaluate what type of impact we have on the society, especially after the apartheid and after the country is being liberated and after all the people in South Africa has the freedom to try to engage and change the society. My own, why I'm thinking about this, because I think we can do better. We as Muslim NGOs in South Africa have been doing a good job, alhamdulillah. Most of the non-profit organizations here collect funds for our Muslim brothers and sisters in other parts of the world, but also doing a good job here in South Africa, because the society here have a lot to change. There is poverty. There is also the society needs, after all this many years of apartheid, needs more work to become a strong society, and it's moving in the right direction. But I think we, the Muslim non-profit organizations, we have, as Dr. Hani said, the knowledge from the Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and the great work that our ulama did, and if we, especially during the the early stages of Islam, and spreading Islam to inside Arabia first, inside Mecca and Medina and the surrounding areas, where there was also a lot of zulm, lot of weakness in the society, and subhanallah, this risala of the Prophet ﷺ made the society much stronger, made people equal, made people participate and grow, and then Islam spread all over the world in very few number of years and become the main religion all the way from China to, or even Indonesia to Morocco, and then Andalusia in Spain. And I think we carry this risala, this message, and we have a lot of responsibilities. And so I am thinking of, we need to learn from during maybe this, it's already 30 years now, maybe more, that we need to learn what we are doing and how we can do things better. I will end with the role of imam, and I am a big believer that the imam and the leader in a mosque is a change agent. Is not only expressing or giving khutbah and giving fatwa or leading the salah. He is a change agent. People look to him to help them with their social problems, with their issues in their houses or in their relationship to each other. And if he is, as Dr. Ani said, understand not only the religion but the social issues, the social knowledge in the society, then he will be able to help in solving the problems of the community and the society. Jazakumullah khair, and I'm very happy that I'm with you, inshallah.
Any questions? Yes, come on. Well,
What do you study, doctor? What is your field also?
أفندم?
انت تخصصك ايه؟
I am originally a professor of electrical engineering. I'm an engineer and I used to teach for a long time electrical engineering, but 30 years ago, because I was very much interested in developing, I did my PhD in Canada and I worked in Canada for several years, but I was very much concerned about the lack of knowledge and experience in the developing world. So I decided to go back to Egypt and start, changing my career into helping in the non-profit sector in humanitarian, especially in the capacity building, in developing the capacity of people, especially those who are working in development work. So I kind of changed my career from a very technical side to the humanitarian development side.
The question, brother, is a good opportunity that don't feel shy. Doctor said if you feel shy,
Go ahead.
تعال.
بس انت كده هتخليني خايف.
لا شوف ليه ما if you want to become a leader you have to face the public.
yes.
I understand. أنا اللي بوس أنا.
So my question is in terms of what skills or what topics should we be focused on? Obviously we cannot learn everything at once. So what should we prioritize as youth in order to be able to lead or succeed in whatever endeavors that we want, whatever field that we want? What is it that we should focus on? Whether it's one or two or three specific skills that you would recommend?
The skills man.
Well, I think Dr. Hani mentioned about, especially for the imams. The imams, since a good number of you are studying religious studies, but also I understand that they are studying also at school, right?
Yes.
So it is very important to, as Dr. Hani said, learn, about the society, about the different fabrics of the community, and learn, some of the humanitarian fields like, history, geography, arts, and so on. But if your question is related to, the career, it will depend on what career you are in. But I think what is really important is for all types of people, we have to learn how to work with others. I think this is lacking for us the early Muslims used to be able to communicate well and integrate with the communities that they travel to, whether they travel to Habasha, Ethiopia, or to Yemen, or even after battles after the Futuhat. They were able to integrate in the society and become part of the society. I feel that we, and I'm the first one, I feel more comfortable, spending my time and talking to those who are coming from Egypt because I'm coming from Egypt, or while others they feel comfortable because they are, part of their own community. We should learn how to be more effective communicators and be able to work with others more effectively. Maybe Dr. Hani can.
لا هو طبعا adding to this, there's no leadership without management. As I said, there's no imam without Arabic language. If you would like to communicate with the people, you have to know how to manage the people. Actually, management is not by giving an order, but by listening. I remember one of the big ابن اخو عثمان احمد عثمان. اقعد يا ابني اقعد. انت مربي دقنك؟ اقعد. حرام ولا؟ المهم, he was a nephew of Uthman Ahmad Uthman, the founder of the Arab Contractors. And you know what he wrote a book about? He got his PhD from Loughborough University in UK. And he was a man who has sense of humor. First time to meet with him in a conference in Egypt about the development and index of Egypt in the United Nations. And I was sitting next to him. And he gave me his card. You know what I told him? From his name? Because this was the media talked about him. The harami. I told him you are a thief. Because the media made him to look like a thief. He laughed. And he started to open up with me. And tell me why the media is saying this about him. One of his way of management is management by smiling. Management by laughing. Management by making jokes to win the hearts of the people. Management by results. He is talking about management by results. And Ismail Osman Rahmatullah alayh was talking, you manage people by sense of humor. Good morning, sister. No, no, sister. Sorry, sir. There's no sister with beard, huh? And so on. He wrote this book, actually, Management by Smiling, Laughing, and Sense of Humor. So don't go, that's why the Prophet ﷺ never was having a grim face, musky face. No, maybe Umar radiallahu anhu, people were scared of Umar, but Umar was the softest. But with this look that everybody said, oh, don't see Umar. But when you sit down with him, he cries because it was very soft. Ismail Osman was talking about how you have this kind of sense of humor to open the hearts of people. There's another skill which Muhammad can teach you about it.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Jazakallah. Okay. One more question?
Come on, don't be. You want to be a leader, you have to stand up. And you have to come to the stage. You have to speak up.
You know how to face them.
تعال هنا تعال يا حبيبي انت وشك منور انت خالص. مستر نور والكل مستر نور. ها؟
اسمه أسد.
اسد ايه بقى؟ احنا قلنا بالاسد هنا.
His name is أسد.
ايوه
أسد الله.
كمان هم؟
حافظ كتاب الله.
My question is, we live in a very technological world, and there is changes each and every day. So, as the youth, how can we come up with a program or something that will, it will make us, merge with the moving train, technology. Because I believe, from the question that the brother asked, like what kind of subject and things that we need to focus on if we want to change this world to a place where we want it to be. So with the technology that we have, for us to be to be moving together with the world as a youth, and most especially as Muslim youth, what can we do? What can we do?
Alhamdulillah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't know how can we Irish technology, to be very honest. Don't be deceived by what Yusuf is doing. But I believe in technology. And 30 years ago, because I believe in the computer, we managed in Islamic Youth to bring somebody to establish a computer department or IT department at that time, more than 30 years ago. When we got a computer, 1986, was big computer, like a dinosaur computer. I was all the time sitting on the desk, did not know how to even use a keyboard, but showing it to every donor coming to Islamic Relief, because we had one room. See, we have a computer. Have a computer. Have a computer. Have a computer.
Big achievement.
Yeah, and it came to us free from Ahmed, just to tell them, I myself don't know how to use it, but I believe in technology. So make a difference between me using it or believing in it. But very, very difficult, a very, very critical divide now, by whether I use the technology or the technology uses me. And it's a big, big problem with the AI system. AI system, if I rely on it 100 times, totally, it will stop me thinking. And I'll be like a robot, a clown. I can use what is in the AI system to improve my skills, but not to stop me developing my skills. We need to develop a system to make us not to be 100% dependent on technology. Like I have to control myself of stopping using technology 1 day a week, or 2 days a week, or a few hours a day. I have to do that. I have to create other program for the youngsters, outing, camping, scouting, sports, other social life. Because if your son and daughter at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6 depend 100% on this screen, and when the mother is busy in the kitchen, come on, and from the age of 3 or 2 even, خلاص, he or she becomes addict. The young boy or the young girl at that time, at that age, like your son on your lap, if you give him a football and ask him to play, he will play for the whole day. Because this is the nature of his age. We need to understand the nature of the age of the youngsters and address their needs. Whether it's sports, whether it's camping, whether it's traveling, all this kind of thing. And tell them, one day, we were in the other center, where it was in the other center here in Cape Town or in Johannesburg.
In your visit?
Yeah, 2 days ago I was.
Yeah, also.
Your center,
no,
your
branch
center.
there, yes. North Center, yeah.
And,
Branch, one.
and nobody was allowed to have during the day. I was in another center in Birmingham, Bangladesh center, and I was asking one of the youngsters, because I was speaking to them, so they were not allowed them to use it during the school. It's good, at least for this 5, 6 hours, he will be clear or she will be clear of just doing this, to make himself not to be 100% depending on the technology. And we should encourage them to study technology and to develop technology and to be like the one who invented this. Let me ask the question. You, I've been seeing you in my dreams. Come back. Or in my nightmares. It was him. You know algorithm? Algorithm. Anyone know that? Algorithm. Huh? 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 Sorry?
Mathematical term.
No. It is the app.
Okay.
The app. But what do you call it in English? Algorithm? Huh?
Algorithm.
Yeah. These apps, which came from algebra, invented by somebody called al-Khwarizmi. That's why it's called algorithm. So your grandfather from this area invented this system. This is what I was saying before, and Dr. Muhammad was saying as well. Do you want to be global citizen, Ummah citizen, universal citizen, or avenue cul-de-sac system as citizen? It's up to you. If you want to be al-Khwarizmi, you have to look at how al-Khwarizmi invented this. If you want to be Abul Qasim al-Zahrawi, or Ibn Sina, or al-Bayruni, or others, be it. And see how they did it with no resources. If you want to be Abbas ibn Farnas, be it. But you have to know how did he do it, because he or them, they believed that they want to make a change. If you don't believe that you can make a change, or you want to make a change, you will never make a change. And we will be living as we are for another 100 years and generations to come. And this is what we need to have. If you want to be using technology but not being effective with it, you have to have a parallel program for the children from the young age. From the young age. And you have to get some, psychiatrists or social workers and psychologists to tell you at every age the need of the child is A, B, C, D. Even the books written for the children. At the age of 2 is different than the age of 4, different than the age of 6, different than the age of 8 and 10. Even the video, the Tom and Jerry. You remember Tom and Jerry? Tom, I'm Jerry. Yeah? Or what do you call it? The Barbie, you know Barbie? Why are you laughing? Have you been looking at Barbie? Look at your face, huh? You love Barbie, huh? So, to be very honest, it's up to you to make a parallel system from the young age of the child and take them out. Coming to the mosque is not enough. They will hate it. And you know why? Because they want to play. They want to play football. You know, quite often when I go to the Amana, to Birmingham, I have about 5 or 10 young people. I ask them the same question every week, every Friday. What do you want to be? Football player. What do you want to be? Football player. What do you want to be? Because they can see he's the only superstar football player. Because his father and their mother did not tell him to be what when they grow up. Found that the football player, even to become a very successful player, you have to work extremely hard. Hours and hours every day. Not just jumping on something, no, hour and hour every day. Muhammad Ali, he came and played and was fighting here, isn't it? The last fight was in South Africa when he won. The boxer? Yeah. He used to train himself 6 or 7 hours every day. Every day. Apart from other things he was doing. It's not a joke to become a world champion. It's not a joke to become a scientist. It's not a joke. It's a job. It's more than a full-time job. As I said about Sayyidina Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he said categorically, after being tortured in the prison for 3 or 4 years, for the creation of the Quran, Khalq al-Quran, from Mahbara, from the ink bottle, because he wanted to empty what he learned. You know his mother, he was orphan. You know his mother was to do? His mother used to take him before Fajr. Sorry. And to walk with him and take him to the mosque and wait for him till he prays Fajr there and come back. The mother. What mother we have today? What auntie we have today? That's what we need to do. The mother of Ahmad bin Hanbal made Ahmad bin Hanbal to be the scholar. That's why when he stood against Al-Ma'mun, he stood like a rock. Al-Quran, Kalamullah, khalas. No more, no less. Quran is the word of Allah. They beat him, they beat him, they beat him. Al-Quran, Kalamullah. Al-Quran, Kalamullah. This is the upbringing at your house, at my house. They see you shouting, they shout. They see me stealing, they will steal. They see me deceiving, they will deceive. They imitate the father, they imitate the uncle, they imitate the friends. Choose your friends as well. All these kind of things has to start from within us. I cannot blame the technology only, I have to blame myself. Come here. You. Let me. We need to.
He has good voice if you need to listen to it.
Is he a reciter, good reciter? Bismillah, mashallah. I'm taller than you, huh? Do you use a telephone? There's a white lie and the black lie. Which one of them you choose? All of us use the telephone. Using the telephone is not haram. But actually excessive using is the haram. It can become haram because it wastes a lot of time. But we can use it. I kept learning a lot from the small reels of Sheikh Sha'arawi. Rahmatullah alayh. And they take this 1 or 2 minutes to make a talk about it. Because Sheikh Sha'arawi is Sheikh Sha'arawi. Sheikh Kishk is Sheikh Kishk, and so on. It helped me instead of reading a big book. Actually, once you go researching, it takes 2-3 minutes to listen to it. So I can develop the idea he mentioned long time ago. And do that as well. So use the technology, but don't let the technology to use you. You want to say something? Is your voice good?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
تفضل.
نعم.
يقول لنا I think
هنختم به بالقرآن يا
طيب،
أخي.
ماشي.
طيب كنيستي we will إن شاء الله conclude with the recitation from our student إن شاء الله. جزاكم الله خير.
Before you recite,
تفضل.
one more question.
شيخ عبد الرشيد.
بسم الله ما شاء الله. بسم الله ما شاء الله. بسم الله ما شاء الله. Come on, Sheikh Abdul Rashid. The camera looks for you.
السلام عليكم. شكرا شيخ doctor for your good message. Actually, it inspired us. The point I did highlight from what he was inspiring us with, it was the imams to empower themselves with more education. Now there is a problem. You find in the location, there is a specific imam. And that imam believes that he is the only alim in the location, and he will not, actually he gave up in terms of looking for knowledge. He said, if I go to look for knowledge now, people will undergrade me. Which, okay, what message would you motivate with this kind of a person to improve his knowledge, inshallah? Salaam alaikum.
Well, first of all, it is very common. You are right that some people in certain locations are, whether they are imam or even like a manager or that they believe that they know everything, they already well established, and they stop seeking knowledge, and that is very, very dangerous. As Dr. Hani mentioned, we should seek knowledge from the day we were born until we go to the grave. So my message to them is that if you stop learning, if you stop, seeking knowledge, you would become part of the history, not part of the future. But I get from what you said is that if I'm around a person like this and he is not changing, I should not be like him. I should seek any possibility to learn, even if I decide to leave this location and go somewhere else where I can learn. And because if you can't learn, if you can't change, you will be part of the past, not part of the future. So it's very important and I know this is sometimes a problem because some people feel if they have a position that they already know everything, they already have the knowledge, and that's my message to them is that you have to change yourself. You have to learn more, and maybe you need to give them a humble piece of advice to help him maybe change, inshallah, in the future.
I'll give you some examples from your teachings. Prophet ﷺ always asked his companions about their opinions about the battlefield of Badr, where to have said, go and control the water, the well. The date, the tamr, he was advising them to do something different. He said, no, we don't do it this way. Okay? The last and not least was actually Al-Khandaq. It's the knowledge from Salman al-Farisi. It was not in the Arab area. So here the Prophet ﷺ was guided by the knowledge of others. This never degraded his status. More clear and obvious in the Quran, which you read every week in Surah Kahf, Al-Khidr. So Musa alayhi salam thought that he's the most learned man on earth. Is that right? Then Allah sent him Al-Khidr. You are Al-Khidr now. And because Al-Khidr had a different knowledge which has not been taught by God to Musa alayhi salam, he was telling him, you be patient. Musa was not patient. Don't make any statement till I tell you. Who is الخضر and who is موسى؟ موسى كان أحد الخمسة اللي هم أولي العزم من الرسل. وكلم all these kind of things. But Allah sent him a slave of him who has different knowledge. Did this degrade the status of Moses? No. Don't come and tell me that you have been worshiping Allah and tell like some brothers say that now I have the yaqeen. I don't worship Allah anymore. Now I have the yaqeen. I don't read anymore. What is this? This is ignorance. Ignorance. Once individuals start to think that he has it, he is failing. وفوق كل ذي علم وفوق كل ذي علم عليم. Above the one who thinks that he is knowledgeable, is the knowledgeable. Is the knowledgeable. Al-Khidr came and Musa was looking for him. Clear? So all these kind of things, خلاص, don't go and confront him. It will be a wasting of time. Advise him, as Dr. Muhammad saying, but if he doesn't listen, خلاص, finished. Forget it. You learn. You listen. You act and interact. And the more you interact with the community, the more you learn from them. And to be very honest, the best teacher for us is the community. The best teacher. And whenever you go to those poor people in the shanty towns, in Johannesburg or Durban or here, you find a lot of knowledge. So if you respect them and empower them, they will make the solution very effective. Because any solution, our problem is a local. I conclude by saying I had an acronym, which if you want to write it, you write it, called FAT KISS. KISS. That's why I like it. What's FAT? The relationship between Mr. Abul Majd was coming from an international organization, giving money to the poor people like me, and Mr. Yu is from a local organization. He has the FAT, and he has the KISS.
We need both.
We need both. What do I mean by FAT? F means fun. A means advocate. Advocate يعني support. T means training. So Muhammad, as an international organization, bring the fun, advocate for me to defend my rights, and train me because he has the technology. And you give the kiss. K means knowledge. He has the knowledge more than you.
Local knowledge.
Local knowledge. I is the innovation. Innovative. Innovation is local. S, sustainable solution. He has the knowledge of innovative, sustainable solution. So you have the FAT.
And he has a kiss.
Yeah, go on. Kiss me there. أما تروح في البيت عند مراتك when you go to your wife at home مش المثل بيقول لك يا جاري اطبخي انت سيدي you go to your wife and tell her يعني cook says give me the money is that right? يا جاري اطبخي يا سيدي كلم so that make the relationship that you are equal to any international organization. You have the money for funding, thank you. You train me, thank you. But I have the knowledge, I have the innovation, and I have the sustainable solution. So we're equal. And this is the pride of the local solution. And whenever you dig down inside the community members, you'll find the wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, and wealth of talent. Wallahi, if you discover the talent of the local community, you will be surprised and shocked. You don't have to go to London to be educated, or to Paris, or to New York, or to Middle East. They are here, and they can do it. If you believe that they can do it, they will do it. Thank you.
Shukran. We have few, my beloved brothers, we thank our doctors. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them in dunya and akhirah. We come from very far for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we cannot actually be enough if we say shukran, shukran, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept inshallah all of their effort and to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma ameen. And we end inshallah with the best the ayat of Kitabillah Azza wa Jal. Our student Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى ثم ذهب إلى أهله يتمطى أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى أيحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى ألم يكن نطفة من مني يمنى ثم كان علقة فخلق فسوى فجعل منه الزوجين الذكر والأنثى أليس ذلك بقادر على